Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Franchise Hockey Manager 8 with the Buffalo Sabres. My mic is all jacked up. What's going on here? Back with episode 8, and it's opening day, or I guess it's the beginning of the preseason, I guess I should say. So we're just going to go ahead and we're going to let the AI kind of do its thing. We'll let the AI set the lines, create lines, set roles. We gotta dress players too, don't we? Yeah. So let's let the AI dress players. Let's go back to the lines. Let's create the lines. And we'll just let the AI kind of do its thing here as we get up to opening night. I don't know how far I'm going to go. We'll sim up to opening day. We'll set the rosters and everything. We'll keep an eye on the waiver wire. And we'll probably sim the first month or so here on camera. Probably be a relatively short episode today, given that you guys are going to get another one on, Tuesday? As I'm trying to keep to that Tuesday and Friday schedule. But we'll see how it goes. So we win our first game 4-1. Looks like Kevin Lankinen got the start in that one. Another win, 3-2 this time over San Jose again. So I'm really excited about this year. I feel like this is going to be kind of that first year where we are going into it feeling like we should be one of the top teams in the Eastern Conference. As we lose Studnicka, he's day to day. So let's replace him with Quinn. Quinn should be out there anyway, but that's neither here nor there. Let's dress players again. Does it change it? It does. I want Owen Power out there. For Laxinen. Replace with Power. Quinn's out there. Johnson's out there. Cool. That's what I want for the rest of the... I got to reset the lines, right. Set lines, set roles, and let's keep going. We got about a week and a half here with a not unnaturally, but with a relatively slow sim time. So I may pause here and get ourselves up to opening night, because we got about a week and a half still before that point. So I think that's what I'm going to do, as opposed to sitting here and just filling time. I guess I'll, excuse me. We're about 10 episodes into this playthrough, and it's been doing really, really well. On my channel, relatively speaking. The Franchise Hockey Manager stuff is always kind of the big hit on my channel. I think my Bruins, episode 1 of my Bruins playthrough last year, then episode 1 of my Sabres playthrough this year are the two most viewed videos on my channel. They've been going really well, but I would just ask, I try to mention this once a video. If you're enjoying the content, drop the video a like, leave a comment, subscribe. I know it's the first 3 episodes of a Let's Play or of a series, I guess, that the algorithm picks up. But the more likes, the more comments, the more, whatever that the videos get, the more people will see it. And that's kind of what I'm going for. So that would be great. All right, we are at the 2nd. Opening night is the 9th. I'll be back on the 9th. Hang tight. All right, we're back a couple days early. It is waiver wire time. And, there are a couple of big goalies on here. I think we're going to not make a run at either of them, but a couple of really solid goalies on here. So let's look at ability. Let's see if there's any. Brady Shea. No, he's not going the right direction in terms of his skills. Yeah, I don't know that there's anything here that's... Yeah, it's a lot of 2.5 star kind of meh style players. So I think we're going to skip the waiver wire portion of the event, as they say. We'll get up to the 9th. We will set our rosters, which will include Owen Power, potentially Ryan Johnson. It will include Quinn. And we'll just sort of see how it goes. Hopefully we can stay healthy this year. That's a big concern of mine with Jack Eichel continuing to get hurt. And Cole Reinhardt's not terrible, but I don't need any of those players. We'll get to the start of the season. I think it's opening day is the 9th. I don't know what day our first game is. We'll look at that in a minute. All right, so all sorts of stuff happening. Well, those are all the waiver wire things. Scouting reports, top-selling jerseys, Eichel and Lankinen. Top-selling jerseys for September, Eichel and Lankinen. Scouting report, salary cap reminder. Studnicka's ready. Trade between the Bruins and Ottawa's Max Lajoie for Chandler Romeo. A lot of players picked off waivers. Detroit trades a second-round pick for Frankie Vetrano. Detroit trades a third-round pick for Nikita Gusev. Wow. Okay. That's a thing. All right, so when's our first game? The 14th. All right, so we have 26 players on our roster. We are under the cap, so no issues there. We have to send 3 players to the minor leagues. One of them is going to be Barré Boulet. We're just going to put him on waivers. We have to send 2 more players down, so we have 2 defensemen up here that don't need to be up here. I think Johnson's going to start in Rochester. I like the defense from Matthias Samuelsson a little bit more. So Johnson will start with Rochester. We got to send 1 more down. It's got to be a forward. So it's probably going to be Mastro Simone because I think 14, 12, 14, 13. He's the same as first off. Literally exactly the same. So yeah, Mastro Simone will go down to Rochester, and this will be our 23-man roster. Defensemen, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 6 defensemen dressed, but we need to dress Bryson and Dahlin. So Yoki Haru will come out. Dahlin will come in. I kind of want to go with how many defensemen? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 8 defensemen. I don't need 8 defensemen. Laxinen. He's got to go on waivers. I got to dress 1 more. So we'll dress Bryson. So we have 2 extra defensemen, which we don't need. I feel like if I waive Laxinen, he's going to get claimed. But we're going to do it. All right. So we have 6 defensemen. We have to dress 1 more forward. Dress Fisher. We are going to bench Blickfield, and we are going to dress Studnicka. And we are going to set our line. So the top line, do I want Kubali? No, I want Olofsson on that top line. Olofsson, Eichel, and Cousins has been our top line now for our 3rd season. So that's what we're going to stick with. So our second line, though, Middlestat, Kubalik, and Tuck, I think. 3rd line, Shaw, Wheeler, and Studnicka. Yeah, I like that line. And then our 4th line will be Quinn, Fisher, and Firstoff. Can Firstoff play center? He can't. Can Quinn play center? He can't. All right, so none of these guys can actually play center. So I think maybe we made a mistake here, and we should send Firstoff down, go to Rochester, and bring up Mastro Simone. Make him our 4th line center. Dress him. Lineups. Yep, there we go. I don't love the idea of having Jack Quinn on the 4th line, but I think for now it's probably the right move. Man, that is a loaded forward core, I think. So we have a power forward, a setup man. I don't know if we need necessarily 2 power forwards. So let's make Kubalik a sniper. Power forward, setup, sniper, grinder, playmaker. Yeah, that's really good. And then defensively, we'll go Dahlin and Klingberg. Clefbaum and I think we're going to go Clefbaum and power. So we'll get the young defenseman out there with our veteran Clefbaum. And then we'll do Samuelsson and Bryson. Yeah. Oh, man, our team, we are in good shape, I think. So I want Quinn out there, Studnicka out there, Eichel, Olofsson, and Kubalik. Cool. Power play. Eichel, Cousins, Olofsson, Klingberg, and Blake Wheeler on the first power play unit. And we'll switch. We'll do that. Wheeler and Cousins. The second will be Tuck, Middlestat, and Kubalik with Dahlin and Studnicka. Yeah, that'll work. So Cousins will go there, Wheeler will go there, Studnicka will go there, Dahlin will go there, Kubalik, Eichel and Olofsson with Cousins and Klingberg, Middlestat with Kubalik, and Tuck with Dahlin. Penalty kill. We're going to go Fisher and Wheeler. And we're going to go Shaw, and I don't think Cousins. I don't know that we necessarily have a lot of talented defensive players, so I think we do something like that. Middlestat and Tuck. Yeah, I guess. So Clefbaum and Dahlin on the top pairing. Klingberg and Samuelson. Power and Bryson. That's fine. Dahlin. Fisher and Wheeler will probably be our two best defensive players. 4-on-4, 3-on-3. Eichel and Cousins. No, Eichel and No, Olofsson. Olofsson and Eichel, Kubalik and Middlestat. Klingberg with Dahlin. Clefbaum with Power. And then 3-on-3, we're going to go Klingberg and Dahlin, Eichel and Cousins, or Eichel and Olofsson, Kubalik and Middlestat. That's what I wanted to do. Leave the goaltenders the way it's set up. We will save this. Save lines. Initial lines 2023. And let's play up to our first game. I'm not interested in any of those players on waivers. Let's get up to our first game, please. And we'll just sim. We'll just do some simming here. So, I think we're in pretty good shape. I like the way our roster's set up. I think we've got some depth on the forward side of things. Our depth is going to be tested defensively in that I don't think we have a lot of experienced depth. That may be a trade deadline thing, but I want to give the young players a shot. I want to give Power, ample opportunity to get some playing time this year. Ryan Johnson will be that first player up from Rochester. Master Simone needs a new number. He can't be 24, but he can be 42. I don't care if he's upset. Brock McGinn to the Canadiens for a fourth. Anthony Angelo to the Kings for a second. Ross Johnson to Philadelphia for a third. And the Panthers did indeed take Oksari Laksinen from us. So that's a bit disappointing. I thought that was waivers for a second. I'm like, that's crazy waivers. Transactions and waivers. Yeah, nobody here that I'm all that interested in. That's fine. That is fine. Like I said, I kind of thought we would lose Laksinen, but we've got, 7 or 8 defensemen that we can trust. So if we need to, trade for somebody because of injuries, we have the prospect pool to do so. And we'll do the AI. We'll let the game play. Like I'll hop into the game, I guess. Season preview, we're nowhere on this list. That's a little disappointing. I thought we might be in the list of teams that would be kind of in the hunt. Florida beats Columbus. Edmonton defeats somebody. Simmed ahead too fast. So our first game is going to be against the Panthers. Spencer Knight with a shutout. So Nashville receives offers for Roman Josi. Well, sure. I mean, he's not on the trade block, is he? What's his contract look? That's a lot of money, but we can afford it. I'm just curious. Is there anybody on the trade block at the beginning of the season? Wait, what is this? Is this free? Are these free agents? Are these all RFAs? Yeah, Columbus owns the rights. Okay. Okay, so Carter Hart, Roman Josi, Kasperi Kapanen, Torrey Krug, OEL, Puljujarvi. I mean, he's on the trade block. Wow, Nemestikov jumped up to 2.5 stars. I mean, do we get even close? Saganuk, Kisakov, and a first. Oof. That's something we'll have to keep an eye on. And if we can pick up a Roman Josi later this season, I think we would have to at least consider it. All right, so let's play this game against Florida. So Olofsson, Eichel, Cousins, Tuck, Middlestat, Kubalik, Wheeler, Shaw, Studnicka, Fisher, Mastro, Simone, Quinn, Dahlin, Klingberg, Clefbaum, Power, Samuelson, Bryson. So we're going to be starting Pekka Luukkonen. They're going to be starting Spencer Knight. And we will go, let's see, we want to look at just goals, I guess. Yeah, we'll just look at goals. I don't need feedback responses right now. And let's go ahead and sim. Studnicka, 2 minutes for slashing. And it looks like Florida's going to get on the board on this power play. They do. So Florida takes a 1-0 lead. Alexi Sorella from Geeky and Oksari Laaksonen. Wouldn't you know it? Are they going to get on the board again? Oh, 2 goals in about 20 seconds there for Hagee from Tippett. Not a good start to the season. Huberdeau unsportsmanlike. Olofsson holding. Wow, Trevor Knight, excuse me. Are we going to get on the board here? We do. There we go. Is that Eichel? Kubalik from Middlestat and Klingberg get us within a goal at the minute 4 mark. Bryson for tripping. Huberdeau for roughing. Do we tie it? Looks like we might tie it. Nope. They're going to get the goal and go up 3-0. 3-1. Yep. On the power play. Sorella again from Barkov and Laaksonen. All right, so we lose the first game of the year by the final score of 3-1. Oksari Laaksonen gets the top star of the game, picks up 2 assists against his former club, and we lose 3-1. So not a great way to start the season. Spencer Knight stops 25 of 26. Luukkonen gives up 3 goals on only 15 shots. All right, not a great start to the season, but it is just a start. So we'll keep simming probably through the end of October in this episode, and then we'll kind of pause, look at the stats and stuff, and that'll be your Friday. Got the Kings coming up. Let's see what happens here. Oof. So we dropped to 0-2 on the year. They score 3 goals in the first. Kempe, Kopitar, and Kaliev. We get a goal from Olofsson in the first, a goal from Olofsson in the second. But we lose 3-2. So Luukkonen getting off to a really, really bad start after the fantastic rookie season. Only stops 12 of 15 in the first game. Gets pulled here in the second game, giving up 3 goals on 7 shots. And we are 0-2 to start the season. That's a bit shocking. Thankfully, it's still super early. Losing 2 games in a row isn't the worst thing in the world, but it would be nice to pick up that first win here at some point. Pastrnak was leading the National Hockey League with 7 points in 3 games. We got Pittsburgh coming up now, 2-0 Pittsburgh. Can we pick up our first win of the season against the Penguins? We do. There we go. We win 4-1. So we get 2 goals and an assist from Eichel, 2 assists from Klingberg, 2 assists from Cousins, Dahlin from Eichel and Olofsson, Eichel from Cousins and Klingberg, Wheeler from Klefbom and Kubalik. Eichel picks up his second, and Luukkonen plays well. And guys, I will be right back. Hey guys, we're back. Sorry about that. It's actually the next day. It's the next morning. I got pulled away yesterday and was not able to, hang on just a sec. There we go. And was not able to finish the video yesterday, so I'm going to finish it today. So we came off a 4-1 victory in our last game. We're now taking on the Seattle Kraken. And like I said, we'll probably play up through the end of the month, just as sort of an introduction to this season. We'll take a look at the stats, see where we stand, and go from there. So we're 1-3. We lose to the Kraken, so not a good start to our season at all. Vince Dunn with a goal and 2 assists. Olofsson, we were up 2-0. Olofsson and Wheeler scored in the first. Dunn and then Donato, 2 power play goals. So, yeah, rough start for us. Rough start for us for sure. And now we got a tough one at Toronto. See if we can pull this one out as we sit in last place currently. Trade between Detroit and Vegas. A 3rd-round pick to Vegas for Mitchell Stevens. Or a 3rd-round pick from Vegas for Mitchell Stevens. So Stevens goes from the Red Wings to the Golden Knights. What can we do here at Toronto? At Toronto today, at Dallas tomorrow. So we hope for a couple of good games here. Nope, we get shut out. Wow. Okay. Let's see what happens in the Dallas game, and then we may have to pause and kind of take a look at some stuff and see if we can figure out what the deal is. And this was a year we were stacked coming into this season. I was expecting big things. And we're shut out in back-to-back games. We are 1-5. We aren't scoring. 1-5 on the year. That's not what I wanted. This is what I wanted. So we are the 2nd lowest scoring team in the NHL. We're averaging 1.5 goals a game. We are... 10th in goals allowed. So defensively, we're doing fine. We're just not scoring. So what can we do with the... I don't want to be looking at the Blackhawks. So what can we do with our lines here? So let's try moving Wheeler up to the top line and Olofsson down with Shaw and Studnicka. Start with that. And I'm fine with the other 2 lines. I'm fine with Tuck, Middlestat, and Kubalik. And then Fisher, Master, Simone, and Quinn on that 4th line. Still not going to panic. It's still too early. But we'll make that one change and see if putting Wheeler on the top line helps at all. We'll get to the end of October and maybe we reset some strategies if things don't get any better. Can't fall too far behind. We're already 8 points behind the Lightnings and Bruins. And Panthers now. Had a game here against New York. I don't know if it's the Rangers or the Islanders, but one of the New York teams. 1-5-0. Make it 1-5-1. At least we got a point in this one. We got a goal from Quinn, and then we lose in the shootout. So we're still not scoring. Now we got a tough one here against Tampa. It's great. Our only win is against the 4-1-1 Pittsburgh Penguins. All right, so we got Tampa today and Montreal tomorrow. Yeah, the off. Oh man, Kubalik has an assist. Middlestat gets his first. Shaw gets his first. It's just not happening. All right, so we got Montreal tomorrow, and then we'll see how it goes. I guess I don't. There's not a whole lot we can do. I mean, we have and our team is set up. What I think is pretty solid. Love to see a win here. We finally get it when we still only score 3 goals. Middlestat, Mastro Simone, and Tuck. We get the shutout from Lankinen. So we pick up our second win of the season. Let's sim ahead to November 1st. Our owner will tell us how angry he is at us, and we'll go from there. And I've only been going for 5 minutes, so we'll keep going here. No reason not to. I think I only did I did about 30 minutes yesterday, something like that. Let's see. 3. Yeah, we're at about 25 minutes. I'll go for a little while longer here. 2-6-1, not good. Lankinen's playing. Our defensively, we're fine. Defensively, we are fine. It's offensively that we are struggling. And we are 11 points behind Tampa Bay already. I think McDavid has more points than most of our team combined. Board confidence this season is has proceeded promisingly. Vasilevsky and Joel Farabee. Development report, Power, Quinn, Shaw all get better. Some of our young guys get better. Nemestikov is going to be a monster. Klingberg and Wheeler both got worse, but that's fine. All right, so lineups. Let's look at tactics. And I don't want to mess around too much with this, but so the top line is not very tough. But that's fine. We don't have hitting on high, attacking, aggressiveness, back checking. Through center. Yeah, we'll go through. We'll try the through center. See if that helps on the top line. Dump in and behind the net. I don't want the center. I don't want him playing behind the net. Let's go triangle. Yeah, let's go with the triangle. Second line, offensively. Really, they're only a 3 on offense. Okay. Yeah, I don't want to make too many changes here. I feel like... Yeah, I don't want to make too many changes. I feel like we've been successful the last 2 years, and we've done it with worse rosters. So I'm going to go ahead and stick with what we have for the time being. Let's see how this one goes against Toronto. See if we can win 2 in a row. No, we lose in the offense. We lose 2-0. We lose 2-0. So we're 10 games into the season, and we are 2-7-1. This is shocking, given we picked up 2 proven offensive players in Tuck and Wheeler and added them to what was already a very good offense. Malkin wants to be traded. game at Ottawa. We're going to keep losing. We win 4-3, so that's nice. Finally put some points on the board. We win this one in overtime. So Olofsson had his goal and an assist. Eichel with a goal and an assist. Olofsson with his 4th goal. Dahlin with his 2nd. Bryson gets the goal in OT. Luukkonen stops 28 out of 31. Okay, so we get the win. All right, anybody interesting on waivers? Angus Crookshank. Vladislav Nemestikov, Derek Grant, and Tyler Madden. Nope, not really interested in any of those players. All right, let's try to string together a couple of wins in a row here against some teams. I mean, most teams are ahead of us in the standings, so see if we can string together a couple of wins against some teams ahead of us, starting with Detroit. 5-3-2. So Lankinen's played well this year. Lankinen's been good. So we have back-to-back games at Detroit, then at home against the Oilers. A 5-3 loss. Wow. Quinn and Eichel. We gave up 4 goals in the third, so we were up 2-1. Pajot, Kane, Zadina, Coleman. Man. Okay. Lankinen plays like ass in that one. All right, we're going to play this last game, and then we're going to call it an episode because I want your suggestions. I need to know what we're doing wrong. I need to know what sorts of changes you think we should make. Let's end the day. Let's see how this goes against Edmonton. Do we end up 3-9-1 or 4-8-1? We beat the Oilers 2-1. Okay, so the high-flying Edmonton Oilers only get 1 goal. Olofsson has 2 assists. He's been playing well down on that third line. Eichel from Wheeler and Olofsson, Studnicka from Middlestat and Olofsson. And Luukkonen stops 19 out of 20. All right, so through 13 games, we are 4-8-1. We've jumped ahead of Ottawa, but we have 4 games in hand. We're only better than the Canadiens in the Atlantic. A couple points behind Toronto. A ways to go to catch Tampa. We haven't fallen any further behind. We're still just 11 points behind Tampa. So, let's look at the offense. Not much to look at. It hasn't been good. Olofsson. I mean, it's funny, though, as you look at our plus minuses, and some of them aren't. That line with Sean Studnicka is not good. We might have to take a look at that. Olofsson leads the way with 9 points in 13. Eichel has 8. Klingberg with 8. Middlestat with 6. Dahlin and Wheeler with 5. Mastro Simone with 4. Tuck has been a major disappointment. 2 points in 13 games for Alex Tuck. That's really upsetting. He scored 26 goals last year at 55 points. Has got 1 goal, but he's got a game rating of 71. So we just can't put the puck in the net, but defensively we're still playing well. We look at the goalies, split really down the middle. Luukkonen's 3-4-1 with a 2-4-8 and a 9-10. Lankinen 1-4 with a 2-0-5 and a 9-19. So yeah, it's specifically our offense. So what do I want to do here? It's, Quinn, do we move Fisher up to this line here and have Mastro Simone, Quinn, and Studnicka? At least then our third line is a little bit tougher. I don't want to. I like our top 2 lines. I think Wheeler's okay on that top pairing with Eichel and Cousins. Let's look at, really quickly, one thing I didn't look at here. Where am I looking? Offense, power play percentage. Second to worst, 7.3%. Our PK is towards the bottom as well. So let's take a look at our power play and our penalty kills. We got Eichel, Wheeler, Olofsson, Cousins. So let's move Olofsson off and let's put Tuck on that top line. Cousins, Eichel, Wheeler, Tuck, and Klingberg on the first power play. Middle stat, Kubalik. Let's get Quinn out there on the second pairing. What happened there? Quinn for Studnicka. And we'll put him down here. We'll put Olofsson on the top line. Let's see if that makes any difference. So that top power play unit now, Tuck, Eichel, Wheeler, Cousins, and Klingberg. We'll see if that works at all. And we'll put Eichel out there with Wheeler. And then Kubalik, Middlestat, Tuck, and Dahlin. Let's try that. And then our PK... I mean, these are our best defensive players, so there's really not a whole lot I can do about that. So let's leave it like that, and we're going to call it an episode. So, guys, let me know if there are any other changes I should make, if I should maybe dress somebody else. I mean, I don't know who I would dress that would help us. I mean, Samuelson's a defenseman. Blickfield's not better than what we're putting out there now, so let me know if what changes you think I should make, because we're loaded. I mean, I don't understand why we are playing as poorly as we are. Hopefully it's just a bad stretch and we can bounce out of it. But yeah, let me know your thoughts, guys. As always, I appreciate you watching. I appreciate the support. Drop the video a like if you like the content and you haven't already. If you could drop me a subscribe, that'd be great too. Otherwise, that's fine. You don't have to. I'm just throwing it out there. So, yeah, I appreciate it, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to everybody soon. Bye-bye.